We have a tweet from Joe Biden himself.
Oh, no.
We have this post. Joe Biden says, Donald Trump posted an ad echoing the language of Nazi Germany. Oh, wow. He only cares about holding on to power. I care about you, he says. Yeah, okay, sure. Here's the video.
What's next for America?
Is this on his official account? Wow. A unified Reich? That's Hitler's language. That's not America's. He cares about holding on to power. I care about you.
That was a good joke there, Joe. So the real story is that it's an American newspaper from World War I not supporting or proposing any kind of creation. It's literally just an old school newspaper stock image that has a news report from World War I. That's it. And so someone made it. It wasn't Trump. Apparently, one of Trump's accounts retweeted it. And then they saw that in the article, it referenced the beginnings of the Nazi Germany after World War I or something. And then Joe Biden is now trying to act like Trump is calling for a unified Reich or whatever.
I'm shocked that they actually put that out from the official.
That Trump did?
No, well, no, that
Biden.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they got him to do this skit where he pretends to be shocked for a camera
And
angle.
notice, what does he say? Is this on an official account? That way they can't get sued for defamation. Because it was some other account that did it.
Because they made him stand in a perfectly lit spot and say, hey, say this line and we're going to do this. Like, they're pretending like this is his genuine reaction. That's how inauthentic the Biden campaign is. They're
Look at this. This is amazing. End Wokeness has the debunking. Trump echoes Hitler predicting a unified Reich.
That's the thing. That's the thing that blows my mind is like they're actually saying this as if he said that. And
because they're trusting you're going to only read the headline.
Yeah, but to me, this, and I mean, yes, I totally understand that you're. That's completely true. Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but like, it's just this is, and not that there should be anything beyond the pale, but it's just so surprising that something so blatantly dishonest is actually coming out now from. And I know I shouldn't feel surprised, but it's just so comical that it's so comically dishonest. I guess is part of the reason why it just blows my mind, and I. Probably shouldn't.
I'm not surprised. I mean, the whole launch of Joe Biden's first campaign was the Very Fine People hoax.
The Very Fine People hoax, I know that was like BS, and maybe I shouldn't be so surprised about this because of that, but I feel like the Very Fine People hoax, even that was a little more believable because you could at least say, oh, they only heard the bit that he said that, right? The only thing they presented was that little piece that wasn't, getting something from World War I, a newspaper from World War I, and putting it as if this is some kind of ad from today. That's
ABC News said Trump posts social media videos seemingly suggesting his victory will bring unified Reich. That's fake news. That is a lie. That's just absolutely not true. It doesn't say that. It's just a stock image. Look at this. And Wogan says the image. It's a newspaper vintage history headlines promo, and it says something. What does it say? Universal strength significantly increases something. What does that say? Something driven at the creation of a unified Reich. It's an old news story on a historical newspaper.
And if it was actually from the end of World War I, Nazi Germany didn't come right after World War I. We're talking about the Weimar Republic. It's hilarious. Like, Reich just means kingdom or realm. Even if it was an official account and it's from like a 1919 newspaper or whatever. I'm not saying everything was perfect in Germany in 1919, but like, we're not talking about this is, the newspaper, a photo of a newspaper that says Hitler comes to power, proposes unified Reich. That's like not at all what we're talking about here. It's just dishonest and disingenuous on so many levels.
Yeah, understatement. I mean, but this is what the media does.
Do you think it makes the Biden campaign look desperate?
Well, of course. But the issue is these news headlines are going to make it to older people. Younger, this is what changes. Everything's going to change, man. You watch MSNBC, you live in Wally World, dude. You live in crackpot, nightmare, bubblegum nonsense. And it's crazy because MSNBC wasn't always like that, but they've become like that. CNN is trying to pull itself out, and they're struggling to do so. Younger people are getting their news and information from social media. The problem is, I see a dark future, my friends. We're looking at, with the rise of TikTok, YouTube Shorts taking over, And YouTube Shorts really are displacing a lot. And Instagram, people are no longer consuming in-depth conversations. Now, hold on. For a while, they weren't in the first place. The podcast era comes for a good 10 years, but it seems like we may be on the way out from there. Joe Rogan comes in, his podcast takes off, and people really start enjoying listening to long-form shows where you get longer conversations breaking issues down, and people start to understand them. YouTube is a great vehicle for this, and a lot of people succeeded by creating these long-form videos, but YouTube is deprioritizing all of this. And now what they're prioritizing is shorts. TikTok is creating an algorithm where there's zero substance and maximum dopamine. If young people go this route, oh, wow. Mm-hmm. I mean, I assume that's what the deep state is hoping and praying for. No. That the corporate press, the cable TV is dead. And so they need to make sure things like this can't be substantive. So they want to make sure that you go to work, come home, look at the TikTok and swipe, and you never have any idea what's really going on. They control the algorithm. They make sure you'll never see information that defies their worldview, and everyone will chase after whatever nonsense. If they, and they are, deprioritize news content to a great degree, that's what they've been doing, and they put the likes of Mr. Beast and things like that on the front page, they are basically telling everybody who wants to make content, you got to be like Mr. Beast. Don't you dare talk about this stuff. And then they do what's called the tiny room shadow ban. And that's basically what they've been doing to us for a long time, of course. And it's only because people share the show and really enjoy it, they can't just shut us down outright. But the tiny room shadow ban is basically make sure no new members, anybody who goes to YouTube for the first time will never see Timcast IRL. Only the people who already know it exists and have subscribed will see it, unless they share it with other people and interact with it. So what they want to do is they create pressure against, as this show gets older, and some people might be like, well, it's not really my cup of tea anymore. I'll watch something else. We are not seeing the response from, YouTube's algorithm typically promoting a show like this. So I'll tell you, I know exactly why YouTube nuked our 2 biggest episodes. They don't like that we are defying their shadow ban. We put up an ad on YouTube, which some of you may have seen. Real simple. It's just me being like, for the best show, come watch Timcast IRL Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. Why? That breaks the tiny room shadow ban. Intentionally using marketing to go outside of the bubble they're trying to lock us into. The first ad that I put up showed the top episodes of Timcast IRL. They denied I talked about this on the show. They denied the ads and said they were electioneering. Lie. What? Come watch our news show? That's not election stuff.
Are you running for office?
Absolute lie. And so I reach out to customer service and they say, this is strange. We don't see anything related to elections in this video. We're going to escalate this and figure out what's going on. And I said, well, hold on. If you have the ability to just activate the advertisement, if you're telling me right now there's no election stuff in it, and that's true, turn it on. And they're like, we can't. Like they physically can, but they're not going to. We're going to escalate this. So then I get an email like a few days later and they're like, hey, we're the supervisor. We reviewed this. You are correct. Nothing in this is related to elections. So your ad has been activated. The next day I get an email from Google saying we've deleted these 2 episodes, which were 2 of 3 that appeared in the advertisement that I made. And they were like, for no reason, they made up some fake BS reasons. They claimed that we were promoting QAnon. And I said, is that a joke? We mock QAnon. We've never promoted this. And they were like, we don't care. They made it some other BS reason for taking down the other episode and said, if it happens again, you get shut down. Have a nice day. And I went off on them. So I know why they're pissed. And so I said, okay. So I made an ad with nothing in it, literally just me sitting in the chair, nothing else, and instantly approved. Now we're specifically targeting through the ad outside of the news space and into cultural spaces, and it is working, and I think they are rightly pissed off about it.
Okay, so 2 questions. First off, what 2 episodes were they, and can people still listen? Like, can I go listen to them anywhere right now?
They're probably up on iTunes, right? Yeah, they're still there. So it was the Joe Rogan, Alex Jones, Michael Malice. Who else was that? Was Drew Hernandez on that one?
Drew Hernandez was there.
Ian, Luke, me, Blair White. Did I say Blair White?
Yeah.
Was that everybody? That was a wild show.
That's the Malice in the Palace. That's crazy.
It was in the mobile studio in Austin.
It was in the mobile studio in Austin with Rogan and Jones. And then they took down the, I believe it was the Michael Malice, Alex Jones episode. And they took it down for a vague reason they wouldn't really explain to me, and I'm like, this makes no sense.
That's crazy.
And then they were like, I'm like, these are 3 years old. It happened right after we tried running the ad. So, here's what I think. They don't mind that the episode exists on YouTube because it exists within the confines of the tiny room shadow ban they've created. It only appears, we get people saying all the time, like, hey, I watch the show every day, and it's a struggle to find it. We often get messages from people saying that it's not even on our YouTube channel. We go live and they know the show every day, 8 p.m. and they watch, and they'll go to YouTube, Timcast IRL, not there. And they're like, I don't even know how to find the link because it's not there. So it's like, I should probably be tweeting out the link, which I never do. And so we hear that a lot. So I make an ad showing those episodes outside of the tiny room shadow ban, and instantly they're nuked. And I'm like, YouTube, they don't like what we got going on here. For the longest time, this show was shadow banned from Google. YouTube videos from Timcast and Timcast IRL did not appear on Google search. Yeah.
So one of the things that I talk a lot to like young journalists, the people who like want to get into the journalism space, specifically on the right. And one thing that I give a little spiel of the history of American media, because I don't think that you can become a part of it successfully without understanding some of the history there. And one of the things that I say to them is, we live in a media environment that seems decentralized because you have shows like this one, you have Joe Rogan, you have longer form conversations, but actually it is one of the most centralized media environments that has ever existed in this country when you combine the fact that nearly every major cable news network is owned by one of 5 corporations, like just a handful. Like for every media executive in the country, they oversee an audience of about 1 million people. So about the size of the city of San Francisco, which is mind-boggling. You think like, oh, well, like that doesn't account for social media, and it doesn't account for YouTube, and it doesn't account for all these other platforms. But at the end of the day, the social media tech censors are like basically replacing the old corporate journalism censors. Yep. And like one of the questions that I have constantly, especially like working for a plucky, relatively small conservative outlet, is like how to empower the decentralizing forces, like how to empower shows like Timcast, right? Like how do you think the right should go about doing that, or just people with decent people with just believe that the media apparatus is corrupt and want to see a decent, lively public square again? I
think we're winning. So there's a lot going on in the cultural space, in the media space. Elon Musk buying X. Massive. And you know what I think is really funny? A lot of people are shocked. They're like, my viewership is down. What is happening to my account? Elon's cleaning up the bots.
Thanks for watching this clip from Timcast IRL. Make sure to check out the live show Monday through Friday at 8 p.m. on this channel. Subscribe and we'll see you all there.